This is a fucking mess, son. But don't you worry. Daddy's home.
Some shit, birds.
You have 5 minutes to make your opening statement.
What the fuck is this?
Something we should have done a long time ago.
Jesus Christ. I was just in the lab. It turns your brain into fucking Swiss cheese. You need to tell Huey.
Everything all right?
You, me, and Granny Fucker are gonna finish this fucking job.
As Season 4 of Amazon Prime's most explosive and daring series on television, The Boys draws near, it's important to keep in mind what happened in Season 3, some of which are difficult to forget, and where the character arcs left off.
I'm stronger. I'm smarter. I'm better.
Most of us are aware of the main points, like Butcher is still attempting to bring Homelander down, and Homelander is still out there on the loose. However, there are always a dozen different narratives underway, and the Season 3 finale significantly complicated the Homelander versus Butcher thread. At number 1, Black Noir is no more. There is a persistent rumor that Vought created a clone of Homelander, Black Noir, who is silent and menacing, with the intention of eliminating him should he ever completely lose his mind. This is the comics, after all. No matter how far the series has deviated from the original material over the years, this one-story aspect remained viable for the first 2 seasons. However, Season 3 revealed that Black Noir is actually a man named Irving who was severely beaten by Soldier Boy in the 1980s.
You think you can be me? You're not a movie star. You're not shit.
Resulting in brain impairment and facial injuries. The Homelander clone is not the Black Noir. Though fans have always liked Noir, the character has been even more beloved in Season 3 once it was revealed that he had a child's mentality. He is a kind, non-dramatic guy who is very allergic to almonds. As he passes away in the Season 3 finale, he imagines the world through an old cartoon filter, and those endearing animated characters give him solace.
Soon you'll be in the sweet embrace of Christ the Lord.
How is he exactly killed? Well, it turns out that Homelander's father, Soldier Boy, was previously known to Noir, who had kept this information from him. Homelander tears Black Noir's heart out of his chest because it is just too great a betrayal for him to bear. Rest in peace, Irving. Though your heart may have been broken, you will always have a special place in ours. On second is Queen Maeve almost died. Being teased by the death of Queen Maeve for a whole season, The Boys Season 3 appears to have kept this promise when Maeve bravely throws Soldier Boy off of a building just as he is about to fire his deadly, super powerful blast. It is true that the press has declared her dead, unlike Noir, and she is remembered as the proud lesbian that the people knew her to be. However, it is soon discovered that Maeve has survived. Despite losing her skills and losing an eye, Maeve appears content to leave the Seven and have a happy ending with Elena, her longtime love. Is Maeve coming back for Season 4? It's unclear. It doesn't appear as though she will be heavily relevant to the show anytime soon, though, given that she is no longer a threat to anyone. Although it's heartbreaking to see her go, it's good to see her have that infrequent happily ever after. Third one is that the Seven is a complete mess.
Guess this means we're breaking up. Nazi bitch.
The Seven, an apparently unbreakable squad of heroes, are in total chaos as of the Season 3 finale. Now that Maeve is dead, to everyone else, Noir is dead, and Annie has finally given up on playing Starlight, more on that later, there are really just 3 soups left. The eerie sequence in the end where Homelander terrorizes Ashley, A-Train, and the Deep Vest illustrates this. Homelander is now encircled by superpowers that submit to him completely, and a CEO who is so anxious that she has practically torn off her hair piece by piece. A-Train gets reprimanded for killing the racist police chief Blue Hawk, also known as the only cool thing A-Train has ever done, and the Deep is ordered to kill a vice presidential candidate so Victoria Newman can succeed him in the finale alone. Although they may believe that remaining with Homelander is their best chance of surviving, it's also the most obvious path to losing what's left of their souls. At number 4 is Butchers is in danger for using Temp V. Some of the greatest action moments the show has ever given us occur when Butcher and Huey get their hands on Temp V, a substance that enables them to briefly transform into fellow superheroes that can compete with Homelander.
Oi.
For the first time in the series, Butcher and Nude Huey are shown to be able to compete with Homelander. They may not win, but at least they allow us to witness Homelander feeling uncomfortable. This decision is driven by his desperation to protect his team and achieve his goal of taking down Homelander and Vought International. The scene underscores Butcher's willingness to go to any lengths, even using the substance he despises, to fight his enemies. Sadly, everything worthwhile has a cost, and Temp V pays a high one because the miracle medication is essentially a pure poison and will cause deadly cancer after a few uses. Huey is spared from taking it again by Butcher, who is kind enough, but in the Season 3 finale, he uses it again with disastrous consequences. With only under a year left to live, we may anticipate a more existential and desperate Butcher than in the past.
What have you done?
Scorched earth.
At numbers 5, we have Starlight Became Annie. As Homelander makes Annie's attempts at activism from within the Seven a living hell, and Huey discovers that the progressive, incremental change politician he's been following is a murderer soup working on Vought's behalf. It's not long before Annie's abandoned her Starlight persona altogether, and Huey's returned to the boys as someone taking down Soupies from the outside. Annie's decision to leave the Seven ignites a public scandal, with media outlets and fans polarized over her actions. Meanwhile, Homelander ramps up his control, tightening his grip on Vought and silencing any dissent. Huey, now more determined than ever, teams up with Butcher and the rest of the boys to expose the corruption and lies. In the midst of it all, Annie and Huey find solace and strength in each other, knowing that their fight for justice is far from over.
It happened so long ago and only a couple of times.
Wait, really?
At number 6, a new vice president is about to elect. The Boys is playing the long game with Victoria Newman, a young New York congresswoman who presents herself as a progressive, honest politician who wants to hold Soupies like Homelander accountable for their crimes.
You're Homelander. Button your shit up. You're flailing this whole fucking scene right.
Of course, we should have guessed that a cynical show like The Boys would never give us a character with motivations so pure and straightforward. The Season 2 finale revealed that Newman is the mysterious head popper. She's working for Vought and quickly working her way up the political ladder to achieve her own mischievous ends. The Boys Season 3 established that although Newman can be ruthless, she's not quite the love-to-hate type of villain that Homelander or Stormfront are. She's someone who mostly seems to like Huey and Annie on a personal level, and who generally doesn't kill unless there's a clear gain from it. Unfortunately, she's also in cahoots with Homelander by this point, and she did personally murder a whole bunch of people. So Butcher probably has a point in the Season 3 finale when he says that she needs to be taken down. At number 7, Soldier Boy is back to sleep. Soldier Boy was the boys' clearest bet to take down Homelander so far, but alas, it was not to be. Butcher ends up turning on Soldier Boy to protect his son, Ryan. When Soldier Boy is about to give off that sonic blast that would depower all the soups in the room, Maeve chooses to tackle him out of the building to save everyone's lives, even Homelander's. The last time we see Soldier Boy, he's being put back into hibernation in the same sort of cryogenic chamber the boys found him in. Soldier Boy is probably coming back eventually. Given his parental relationship to Homelander, it seems insane to end his story here, but for now, he's left the chat. Meanwhile, Homelander basically wins the Season 3 finale. He reconnects with his son, solidifies an alliance with Newman, and watches as his enemies basically collapse in on themselves for reasons that barely have anything to do with him. With Temp 5 no longer an option for the boys and Soldier Boy out of commission, Homelander's now is as dangerous and unchecked as he's ever been. At number 8 is The Rest of the Boys Are in a Good Place. In The Boys season, 3 Frenchie has a violent run-in with his former boss, Little Nina, and just barely escapes thanks to some help from Kimiko. Meanwhile, Mother's Milk struggles with the boys' alliance with Soldier Boy, as Soldier Boy's the guy who killed his family. Also struggles to make peace with how his ex-wife Monique is now dating Todd, an insufferable Homelander supporter. Manages to make peace with both Todd and Monique in the finale, but it's still not ideal. Kimiko temporarily loses her powers in Season 3 and spends a few episodes wondering if perhaps this is her chance to be a good person. In the finale, she decides that the best way to be a good person is to take Compound V again and use her powers to help her friends out. She also gleefully and brutally murders a bunch of goons at the end, but she looks cool doing it, so we can't hold it against her. At number 9 is the little Ryan in Bad Company. The other big loose end is Ryan, the young boy whom Butcher was supposed to take care of and teach to be a good man. After Butcher basically abandons him early into Season 3, Homelander swoops by in the finale to almost effortlessly win Ryan back over. Does it make sense that Ryan's so quick to forgive his biological father's many, many flaws? Sort of. Kids do tend to forgive quickly, but it does feel a little rushed. It might seem like Ryan's done a quick 180 towards the dark side, but here's hoping he pulls back from it in Season 4. The influence of Homelander, coupled with Ryan's longing for a parental figure, sets up a complex dynamic for the future. As the series progresses, the battle for Ryan's soul will likely become a central conflict. Butcher's regret over abandoning Ryan could push him to try and redeem himself. Meanwhile, Homelander's manipulative tactics will make it even harder for Ryan to see the truth. In Last GNV, let out a new virus into the universe. The first season of the show's spin-off, Gen Fave, introduced the idea of a deadly virus that only affects Supes. The villain's plan was to release it on all the Supes in the world, but she was thwarted, and the virus ended up in Newman's hands. What's Newman's plan for the virus exactly? We don't know. She might use it as a bargaining chip with the boys, a trump card against Homelander, or maybe she'll give it to Vought to help them keep the bad Supes in line. We also know, thanks to that closing scene in the Gen V finale, and the implication of that one scene with Grace Mallory, that Butcher has also been made aware of the virus. We don't know what Butcher will do with this information, but given his terminal illness, it's likely he'll be even bolder with it than he would have been throughout the first 3 seasons. Just like the previous 3 seasons of The Boys, I'm sure this season is also going to be an amazing watch.